Hi, I'm Denise with Lighten Up Amputee. Happy New Year. We are heading into New Year's Eve tonight. We're ending 2020 and it has been a wild ride. For me, 2020 was it was a year of a lot of growth, let's put it that way. And it's been a tough year, of course, for everybody. I think, I've mentioned this before. Having been diagnosed with cancer and losing my limb, that pretty much jolted my existence a few years ago. And I've dealt with challenges and joys and grown exponentially, so that by the time the pandemic hit, I kind of feel like I could handle the crisis of the pandemic maybe better than I would have had I not been through all of that. So I've really enjoyed this last year in that it made me really reflect on some things. It made me go more internal, because slowing down, not having access to all the things that we usually all do to keep us busy, having to really reevaluate my home and make sure it was as homey as I would like it to be, given that I'd be spending so much more time there and spending more time with my kids. And I already spent a lot of time with them, but to really spend time with the kids, with them not going to school, not having their outside activities, I really feel like it helped us all bond even more profoundly, helped us evaluate what's really important in our lives. We've all worked on the house so that it's much more conducive to just spending that time at home. And it's really helped us realize how connected we all are with one another. But for me, also having cancer and going through a study, I've had to be a little more protective. And I haven't been really restrictive, and I haven't been really liberal. I've been somewhere in the middle, trying to assess daily, what's an activity that I would consider safe, wearing our masks, things like that, but very aware of situations more than usual, of course, and as I should be, to be protective. It really does challenge all of us, I think, to not always just be nice. Meaning having to wear a mask and just be aware of our surroundings and who we allow into our lives. We have a few people we allow in, in our little pod. But I had to tell my son today that, he wanted to go to a New Year's Eve thing with his friends, and I had to say no and say, it's not risky. It's too risky, and it's not worth the price, given that the numbers are going up in our area. It was a hard thing to have to do. So 2020, I am ready to say goodbye to it. However, I'm looking forward to new horizons in 2021. And I am going to burn in my fire pit on pieces of paper things that I want to let go of. Let go of from my past, let go of things in my journey that I've processed and I'm ready to just let go of. And then I'm going to write some things on pieces of paper that I want to manifest in 2021 and bring into my life. Traits, experiences, just really being aware of how I carry myself in the world. And honestly, this channel is, first and foremost, I put Lighten Up Amputee. I am an amputee, and it has given me a new frame of reference. When you lose a limb and you have to get around in the world differently than you did before, you can't help but see everything differently. It really made me change it from how I get out of bed in the morning, to the time it takes me to get to the restroom at night, to how I put my clothes on, and even how I walk in this world, because I have to walk with kind of care and intention. And what a beautiful lesson that is in some ways, right? That we walk with intention and we walk with a little more mindfulness. And I really feel like going into 2021, I'm really embracing that part of me, the lessons I've learned as being an amputee. Profound lessons in how I carry myself, how I view myself, and how I see myself in this world. And it's been honestly an amazing journey that way of self-exploration. So I wish all of you a happy New Year's Eve tonight and a wonderful new year of new experiences, new opportunities, self-exploration, self-growth. And my new kind of motto is, instead of having expectations, I have observations. And that is, instead of expecting certain things, which almost always leads to disappointment because we expect a certain result or we expect it to look or feel a certain way. It's not to say that we can't have, of course, set boundaries for ourselves. That's different. I just mean heading into things with expectation versus observation. You are just setting yourself up for having to be a certain way. Whereas if you go into it in observation mode, the new year, new experiences, meeting new people, if you even getting to know yourself, if you're observing, you're not expecting it to be a certain way and then either trying to make it be that way, or which then leads to denial, or getting disappointed that it didn't turn out the way you wanted, and then you're also missing that experience, missing what you were supposed to learn or how you're supposed to grow from that experience. So now I go in with observation to observe what's going on around me and how it's making me feel, and then make those decisions about whether certain situations or people are in my best interest. But I'm observing versus expecting. And that's new. It's different. And someone just said to me, sort of observing is sort of like being a journalist in a way. Like you go into an experience to ask questions, to try to understand it, to, like a journalist would, go in without any judgment, attempting to. Because when you have that judgment, you convolute the waters. And so that goes back to observe versus expect. So anyway, my new motto for 2021, which is just observe and enjoy and learn and grow rather than expecting something and just missing the whole experience altogether. So happy 2021, everyone. Happy New Year's, and I'll see you in the new year.